Imagine a mother of three. She has just pulled away from her child's school, the morning sun still low over the city of Minneapolis. Within minutes, she is dead, shot in the head by a masked man while her wife watches from the passenger seat. This is the story of Renee Nicole Good, a woman her family says literally sparkled, but who the United States government has now labeled a domestic terrorist. The central anomaly of this case isn't just that a mother was killed on a school run. It's that the federal government and the local city leadership are currently engaged in a total war over what actually happened.
Renee wasn't alone. Her wife, Becca, was in the passenger seat, filming the entire ordeal on her phone. Becca wasn't just a passive observer, she was defiant. She told the agents, "And just so you know, it will be the same plate when you come talk to us later." There was a sense of disbelief in the car, a sense that this was an overreach they would deal with later through the proper channels. Becca even took a jab at the masked men outside, saying, "You want to come at us? Go get yourself some lunch, big boy." But while the women in the car were treating this as a legal dispute or a harassment incident, the men outside were preparing for a combat scenario. The calm, "That's
3 pops." That's what a neighbor heard before the sound of a crash echoed through the street. Masked ICE agent Jonathan Ross didn't aim for the tires. He didn't fire warning shots. He fired multiple rounds directly into the driver's side front window. Renee Good was hit in the head. As the vehicle lost control and crashed, the video, filmed by an agent, recorded a final haunting commentary. A voice, clear as day, is heard saying, "Fucking bitch." It is a slur delivered to a dying mother who had just been shot in the head in front of her spouse. But while the shooting itself was horrific, what happened as Renee lay bleeding in the wreckage has left the city of Minneapolis incensed. The chaos that followed the shooting wasn't just about the gunfire. It was about the wall of silence and steel the agents built around the victim. Bystanders rushed forward, desperate to help. Among them was a doctor, a medical professional trained to save lives in exactly this kind of trauma.
Renee Good was pronounced dead at a local hospital, leaving behind 3 children and a wife who had watched her life end in a split second. Within hours, the narrative machine of the federal government began to turn. Vice President JD Vance took to social media, declaring that the video showed the agent's life was endangered and that he fired in self-defense. The word terrorism was used by the Homeland Security Secretary to describe a mother who had just dropped her child at school. It seemed the case was closed, a justified shooting of a violent suspect. But they didn't count on the local leadership in Minneapolis refusing to follow the script. Mayor Jacob Frey held a press conference that shattered the federal narrative. He didn't just disagree with the self-defense claim, he dismantled it. "They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense," Frey told the gathered press. "Having seen the video for myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bull." He called.
In the days following Renee's death, a small memorial was erected by the community, a place of candles and flowers meant to honor a woman her mother described as one of the kindest people I've ever known. It was a place of mourning. But for one DHS officer, it was a target. A newly released video shows the officer walking up to the memorial for Renee Nicole Good. Without hesitation, he kicks a memorial candle, scattering the light and the prayers of a grieving family. When he was confronted about his actions, he didn't apologize. He didn't claim it was an accident. He stated plainly that he didn't give a f. This is the twist that has changed the entire conversation around the Renee Good case. It's no longer just about those 3 pops on a Wednesday morning. It's about a perceived culture of absolute indifference to human. The legal battle is only beginning. There are calls for investigations into the violation of police tactics and the behavior of the agents on the scene. The city of Minneapolis remains on edge.
caught between the power of federal agencies and the demands of local justice. The tragedy of Renee Good is now a symbol of a massive systemic conflict. On one side, you have